Rallying is a sport that has existed since the early 20th century and has gone from strength to strength in that time. From road races, then beginning to attract more and more people, as well as beginning to expand across the world, from the high Alps of Europe to the Savannas of Africa and the rushes through the forest across the globe. Rallying in the past 45 years has become a global sport, and in the early 1980s, the best era of rally was born and then died. Group B. So, what was Group B? Well, it was Grand Tourers, GTs, which were modified but were still road legal. Some cars in this category include the Porsche 911 and the Audi Quattro, which the latter became famous due to Group B. These cars had to be road legal and had to have enough units made in order to compete. This number was 200, so if a car company made 200 cars of a certain type, it could be entered. But due to the rules, many cars, if not all, were built with different engines or were modified, so effectively you could go out and buy a rally car if you wanted to. These cars were called homologation specials, and these were effectively the same cars that your mum or your dad or someone that you knew would drive, and this is such a cool thing that you could watch effectively your family car being thrown across some of the tightest roads at the highest speeds imaginable. Outside the rules of engine size, weight and safety measures, everything could be done, although there were limitations on things such as wheel size that all scaled depending on the type of car. And cars would often run on dirt, so they'd often have cars that would be front or all-wheel drive in order to maximise corner exit and general pace on loose surfaces such as gravel. 1982 was the first year of the series, with 16,472 kilometres or 10,235 miles being covered across the year. The calendar had 12 events in total, and these were Monaco, Sweden, Portugal, Kenya, France, Greece, New Zealand, Brazil, Finland, Cote d'Ivoire and Great Britain. With the first battle lines being drawn, Germany dominated. Audi won the Constructors' Championship, officially the Manufacturers' Championship, and with Opel coming second, but they won the Drivers' Championship. Third was 49 points away and was Nissan, who had been the highest non-German team. Walter Roll would win the Drivers with Opel, and would only just beat Michel Mouton, who had missed 2 more rallies than him, and this most likely cost her the championship. 1983 would see Argentina replace Brazil, and reigning champion Roll would move to Lancia in order to drive the new 037, which would overturn the Audi dominance with the Quattro by 2 points. If you wonder why Lancia's achievement is so impressive, the Audi had 4-wheel drive, the reason why it's called the Quattro, which gave it a massive advantage on loose surfaces such as dirt and gravel. This is part of the reason why off-roaders have 4-wheel drive. Lancia were different. They had rear-wheel drive, so on asphalt, Lancia would have a massive advantage and Audi would have a big advantage on dirt and gravel. So with all but 2 rallies being on dirt, Audi should have won, but Lancia outplayed them in a season that should and will have its own video. The late great Hanno Mikkola dominated that year, winning the championship with a rally to spare and winning that season 4 times. 1984 would start with the calendar being the same as the year before, and Roll would go back to Audi before winning the Monte Carlo rally, but didn't win again, with him only getting a single points finish at Portugal. Audi would win again, beating Lancia by 12 points and Stig Blomqvist winning the Drivers once again with a rally to spare. Lancia unfortunately began to falter, with their cars no longer being as dominant as the 1970s or even as the year before. Opel started to fall behind as well, and they finished 6th that year, which was pretty much where they would stand for the rest of Group B. 1985 would see the first French manufacturer since Alpine in 1973 to win the title in the form of Peugeot, and Timo Salonen would win the title from Blomqvist. It ran the same calendar for the 3rd year in a row, but the first cracks also began to show with Group B. Attilo Petega was killed at the Tour de Corse after he hit a tree, and this put a dent in Group B's reputation. But earlier in the year, Ari Vatanen crashed in Portugal, and the car was left as just a roll cage, but he and his co-driver survived and would return later. As previously mentioned, there were 2 big crashes in 1985, and this was a common problem for Group B. Massive crashes, but there was also one of the things that made the series so great, but was also a massive problem, was the fans. The fans and spectators would often line the sides of the routes and would stand on them until a car appeared, and would normally get out of the way seconds before a car arrived at 100 miles an hour, and then they would move back. And when I say line the sides of the routes, I mean they'd stand right on the edge of the dirt path with not even a foot either side, which was absolutely mental to think about. This would be repeated, and fans would often try to touch the cars, whilst mechanics would sometimes report finding fingers in the car's inlets. These incidents would sometimes result in cars going into crowds, and these incidents would put Group B in a dangerous situation of it being cancelled. In 1986, this would happen. The fifth rally of the season was on the island of Corsica, and during the event, Henry Toivonen was racing with the Flu, but he would be taking his 600 horsepower Lancia along the mountain roads. Even those complain about balance with the car. Whether it was blackout, car failure, or a mistake, Toivonen would start the second leg on the Friday morning. He would not finish the stage. At the 7th kilometre, he would go off the side of the mountain road, and as it had no guardrail, that is all what is known. There was no fans about, and there's a massive amount of black smoke that a lot of spectators saw. This was the car burning. People didn't realise until a few minutes later, all what was left was the roll cage, no shell or anything. Both Toivonen and his co-driver, Sergio Questo, died in the crash. There's no way of saying this in a nice manner, but it's not known whether both drivers died on impact as they fell into the valley, or whether they were burned alive in the car. Within hours, Jean-Marie Balestri decided the series could no longer continue and was cancelled for the 1987 season, with the Group B cars no longer being run. Rallying would continue, and that season Peugeot would win the title from Lancia, who would begin their comeback, but with the shadow of the crash in Corsica still looming over the team. Juha Kokkonen would win the title that year, but that was it. Group B was over. Thank you all so much for watching. This may be my favourite video that I've ever made. Rally is a series I've always enjoyed but never really watched, which is odd, but researching it was really enjoyable. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If not, please tell me why in the comments and I'll see you later.